My name is Trell, and 10 years ago, I was spending 5 years sitting inside of a federal prison when I was just 19 years old. And even after starting from zero, when I got out, I was still able to build the life for myself that most people think is impossible considering my circumstance. So when I got out, I had a successful personal training business. I was training celebrity clients, started a vegan food truck and restaurant, and now I run a business that makes over $100,000 every single month. So in this video, I want to walk you through the daily routine that I built behind bars that made this all possible and how you can use it to change your life as well. If you can't sit through this video, you're probably going to stay stuck in a life that you have no control over. I genuinely don't want that for you. So let's get right into it. Now, tomorrow starts tonight. Most people think that the way that you start your day is the first step to success, but that's completely wrong. It's actually the way you end it. Now, I didn't realize that until I got out, but you're really setting yourself up for success or failure by how you end your days. So like in prison, it is so structured. At nighttime, we have our routines. We're in bed by 9 and you start preparing for the day ahead. You have no choice on how your night was structured because it ultimately dictates the rest of your day or the rest of your stay. So even when I got out of prison, I still kept the same nighttime habits and routine. Even how I sleep, the temperatures that I slept in, I still maintain because now it's habit, it's routine. And the difference between inside and outside was that I had to choose how my day ended. But in prison, it's set for you. And again, I still utilize those same principles and habits that I used in prison. And to be honest, I'm not ashamed to say it. Prison taught me that the night before is the real first hour of tomorrow. So let me show you how you need to end your days to set your mornings up for success. And you will need discipline to do these things. Now, the phone should be out of the bed at least 30 minutes before you go to sleep. Lights out wasn't an option in prison. And outside, you have to make it a reality as well. Because if you on your phone at night, that blue light, it does something to your brain that makes you stay awake. And you're just mindlessly, you're just scrolling. You don't want that. Same thing, your clothes, you need to lay your clothes out the day before. This sets you up for the next day so you're not spending 30 minutes to an hour trying to figure out what you're wearing. And once you start having control over your nights, your mornings will already be won. You're already ahead of everybody else who's scrolling in the morning trying to figure out what they're wearing. Second thing, now you need to body block. Now at 20 years old, I was leading over 30 men every single day through workouts in prison. And it's not because somebody asked me to do it. It's because I felt like it was a win. I needed to get that win in for the day. My body was the easiest way to start that. In prison, working out is just part of the culture, but I doubled down on it. The men who train different, they move through the day differently than everybody else. So you knew who was really working out and who just worked out for the culture. And inside, working out was the only thing where the outcome was completely up to me. And I never forgot that. And that's why I continued it out into society, because when I was training inside, it helped me get my NASM certification after I was released. And then I was able to translate that into getting clients. I was able to translate it to 25 clients out of my apartment basement, and also celebrities like Pusha T, Shy Glizzy. Most men, they skip training when life gets busy, which is exactly why they feel like they have no control over their life. So to make sure that I was in control, I trained like my life depended on it. That was the only thing that kept me focused and sturdy. I knew that if I got my workout in, I was 20-30% productive of my day. I trained 4 to 5 times a week, or about 60 to 90 minutes per day. And then self-care, juicing, herbal supplements. I like to use creatine. I do bladder whack. I do a bunch of just natural ingredients. Now this for me isn't about aesthetics. It's about building discipline so that everything that you have to do in your day doesn't feel like a chore. It becomes something that you just do just because. And if you want to build that same type of routine, the same discipline for yourself, look, click the link in the description and I'll see if I have a few slots available for you. But let's get back into it, because what comes next is where most men completely fail, because it requires you to do something that most people haven't done in years. Mind block. People don't sit alone with their thoughts long enough to actually hear themselves anymore. And it's not because they don't have the time, it's because they're scared to face what's actually on their mind. But if you don't do it, you'll never know what you want, and you can't build towards it because you just keep running from your thoughts. You keep running from sitting with yourself. If you want to reach that next level, every man has to learn to sit with himself, sit with your thoughts. Start asking yourself why you think the way you think. Why do you feel the way you feel? I know thinking seems hard, or you get depressed, or embrace all of those feelings. That's how you'll be able to expand your emotions and your capacity. The most successful men, they have a very high tolerance or a very high emotional capacity. And that comes from learning how to sit with yourself, being emotionally tuned. Those are the richest people. Everyone has tools to avoid themselves now, right? They got podcasts, they got music, they got background noise, they got scrolling. All of those things, they constantly distract you, and that will prevent you from finding what you really want or need in your life. You hear everybody else, you don't even hear yourself clearly, because you've never given yourself the quiet time to do it. You can't build a life that you want for yourself if you don't know what you want, and you don't ever know if you keep distracting yourself. So lock in, sit with yourself. It's okay to have those lonely, bored nights, and I want you to think about it often. So if you genuinely want to start figuring out what it is that you really want out of life, here's the recipe that I learned to do exactly that. For 10 to 30 minutes a day, I want you to sit with no phone in another room and no distractions. No music, no podcast, no background, no TV, just you and silence. And I want you to practice stoicism. It's a philosophy that separates what's in my control from what isn't. Most times we get caught up in trying to control every aspect of our lives, and it costs us so much energy. But once you master the art of controlling only what you can control and letting God handle anything that's out of your control, you'll understand how effective and productive you really are. So you're going to practice that, and you're going to do that for 10 to 30 minutes a day. Now, this is completely different than meditation. This is like having a conversation with yourself that people avoid. And once you know what you really want, the next question becomes whether you're using that time the best that you can to get there, or are you wasting it all on the wrong shit? Next is output block. Think about how you spend your time when you're not functioning at your absolute best. The hours when your mind is actually clear and you have energy, people put those hours into literally the worst things and wonder why nothing is actually building in their life. You're giving your best hours to bullshit. Most men, they spend their hours, again, consuming. You're scrolling, you're chasing women, you're watching sports, you're sports betting, watching porn. Those are your hours for building, brother. And then you wonder why you're not growing. But it's obvious, because you're doing everything completely backwards. When I got out of prison, I was so focused on building my brand. Nothing would distract me. No women, no parole officer. I was laser focused. I started filming my workouts. I started learning as much as I can. I started buying fitness equipment. I didn't spend a bunch of money. I would jog to work every single day because I didn't want to download Uber and spend money. I put my best and most powerful hours into building myself. Most people spend their 20s entertaining themselves. You need to start building yourself. But if you never execute, it's all information. You got to apply what you learn, or else it's useless. And people, they know they should be executing on it, like you know what you need to do, but you find every reason not to do it, and you let lazy get in the way every single time, and that's why you're stuck. Now, if you want to make your hours count, this is how you make the move. 3 to 5 hours focused on work that actually compounds and makes you money. The business, the skill, the project, whatever is paying you, you need to be spending 80% of your energy on that, because you don't need your energy scattered on 5 different things, and now you're less productive on each. Put your phone down during these hours, block out that time, and just focus on output. I dedicate these specific hours to growing. My first 3 hours, I am locked in. I don't even take phone calls, emails, or anything. I'm locked in. Everybody in my life knows not to text me until afternoon. And you need to do the same. Block it out so that you can be more productive. Next, food plus reset. It's all about recovery. Recovery is what makes you able to get up the next day and do the exact same thing like a machine. And if you're not doing it right, if you're not resting, you're going to break down eventually, and you're not going to be able to keep up without even realizing why. Your body shuts down, your brain shuts down because you're not resting. Now, here's the few steps that I'm going to give you to recovery that most people never really pay attention to, or they don't do it correctly. One of the biggest things is food. They treat it like fuel, but what they put in their bodies is destroying everything about them. You don't even realize it. The poor foods that you eat, they're draining you. They're clogging your brain. You're putting bleach into your gas tank. Why would you do that? Sleep does the same. You stay up to 3 in the morning watching porn. You sleep inconsistently. Then you're trying to nap. Now your brain is not properly functioning because it's running on a low battery. And it's very important that you start treating your body with so much respect because it's the biggest source of your recovery. Your meals, your sleep schedule, your snacks, your water intake, all of these things matter. And like in prison, it taught me all of these things. So now I kept those same habits and routines and eating schedule because I realized how clear and like focused I was. Freedom to eat. I got so many homies that was in prison with me that got out and they neglected everything that they did or learned in prison. And they got out here, they got fat, they got burnt out, they doing drugs, or they back in jail because they didn't stick to the script. You can train hard 5 days a week and eat and sleep like you don't care. Your body will eventually reflect that. Recovery is the most mandatory thing on this list. And I know we live in a hustle culture. Sleep and rest is equally important because without it, you can't use any of the other steps correctly. So to keep my mind and body in like best possible shape, here's exactly what I do. I typically eat plant-based meals on a schedule. Sometimes I'll do a little seafood. Mainly plant-based. I don't do too much meat or dairy. Your body runs better when you know or it knows what's coming. It's like a system. I opened a vegan food truck for this same reason. I wanted our peers to be able to have healthier options. Not necessarily healthy, but healthier options. Hydration. You need to stay hydrated. That's key. Not just water, coconut water that actually hydrates, electrolytes that actually gives you energy. I drink so much water every single day so that I'm staying hydrated. My skin looks great. My body is functioning properly. I take my supplements. I use Thorn. I use creatine. I sometimes use their electrolytes. I love bladder wax. I love soursop. All of these things that are super natural. I sleep on the same schedule. I take a nap every day at 4 p.m. I wake up at 8:30 a.m. This is where the body gets in the habit and rebuilds, and it helps your brain to lock in for the next day. And if you skip it, your whole routine will end up collapsing. And that's exactly the daily routine that I learned from prison that literally changed my entire life. If I never went to prison, I don't know that I would even be here talking to you. I don't know that I would be able to do what I do now. But regardless, it helped me to build the life that I have today. And it's not hard. And if you want to be on that same path, doing the same thing that I did, Javon did, Chase did, I'll leave a link in the description. And again, I'll only leave a few slots for those who are serious. But I just want to say thank you for watching. And I hope that this video helped. Peace.